most people pick brand names that sound fun and cute. And for a lot of people, that's cool. But actually, we picked one that really means something to us. And it actually means two things. Let me take you back. October 20th, 2007. It was a beautiful sunny Saturday in this lovely kind of sand dune park, city park. And that's the date that my husband and I got married. And we invited all of our family and friends. We had a good time in this city park venue with an outdoor wedding. And that was the first day that we start our lives together. And here we are almost 20 years later, and it's amazing of all the things that we have done and accomplished and things that we still want to do, even with things changing constantly. Kids, moving, houses, COVID, all the things. But it's our history. If you didn't know, 1020 is also the police 10 code for like what's your location. And this part represents Hub's career. He's been an officer for almost 30 years and he's planning to retire soon. And so when we were thinking about naming this, it kind of didn't come right away. It was one of those things where we had a list of names, we were trying to figure it out, and we wanted something that was meaningful to us, but it was a little hard go, partly because prior the hubs had like so many ideas of a business that we probably could start, and he had some great ideas, don't get me wrong, but I think he settled on this one because this was something that he can do and move and prepare for his retirement. And he felt like if we started that today, then it would give us that runway that he needed in order to be fully set up by the time that he retires. Right now, we got about a 4 year runway. So I think we're doing okay. The thing is that those two things together, 1020, our wedding anniversary and being the police code, that represents our household, that represents our family. And it's something that we decided that it would be perfect to build. But then we had a snag. Things did not go the way that we had planned. So we had someone that was going to help us with kind of like the back office of setting things up, the website, maybe a couple of designs. They had a totally different name. And my husband decided, let's go with that. It sounded cool and catchy, right? We went and filed the DBA with the county and all the things. We did all the things to get set up for this. But there was something in my gut and my spirit that did not sit well with that. And then when I started to ask questions and wanted a little bit of accountability and wanted to try to get things moving and making sure that we were setting things up in a way that was good for me because, hey, Hubs is printing. I'm doing everything in the back office on top of a full-time job, on top of my own private practice that I run. And I wanted it to be easy. And I was finding that it wasn't easy at all. So that ended up getting scrapped. And things are good with that person. And they realized where they kind of fell short in all of this. And we realized where we fell short in all of this. But to say we had to go back to the drawing board. And what happened is we went back to this list of names that I had, and we just decided that 1020 was what represented us to a T, nothing else. And that's something that we wanted. And so one night we're in the kitchen, the whole family, the kiddos included, and the original name was 1020 Outfitters. But there were some technical issues with that when it came to like how we wanted to use the name, like numbers or spelling it out. It was a little bit too long. It was a lot of things. And so we're in the kitchen and we start throwing out different names we could use on the back end. And it was a lot of stuff. And the Hubs happens to throw out Quartermaster. And I'm like, what the heck is a Quartermaster? And he had to explain to us that back in the day in military, it's an old police term where there was a person that they went to get their supplies, get their equipment, get outfitted for the things that they need for their job. And I thought that was so fitting because that's what we're doing, right? We are supplying t-shirts to whoever needs them for their team, for their business, for their family reunion, for the random things that they want a t-shirt for. Or maybe they just want one of those t-shirts that says something cool and funny. That's we got that too. So we landed on Quartermaster and it just made so much sense and it was easy to like shorten up to QM that it just worked. That word just fit. It was something we realized that this is what we make and this is who we are and this is where we came from. So we had to go through the whole process of changing our name officially with the DBA and all the things in the back office and set up a new website, do all the things. We did that. But the crazy part is it didn't bother us because we were cool with what we decided on as a family. Because part of this isn't just a side hustle. This isn't something that we are hiding. This is something that we're trying to build with our children to create a legacy and do it from our kitchen if we have to, or the garage, or just whatever. And the whole idea of the name was just something we came up with as a family in the kitchen one night, right? That's kind of funny. So 1020 is what our family started. Quartermaster is what we do. And we're building all this in public, one order at a time. Everything you need is linked in the notes below.